He's here to introduce his favorite games. From 100 to 1, he'll explain every one. Action, trivia, fantasy, and more. Stay tuned to see what's in store, so you can play the game, play the game, play the game.
Welcome to the Dice Hour. I'm Tom Vassell, and I'm inserting myself into Jason's videos. Haha!
Yes, he is.
All right, well, this is Jason Levine, and he's going to be giving his top 100 games of all time. But before we go into that, you should tell people a little bit about yourself and gaming history so they can get a bit of where that you're coming from.
Well, I've been gaming for a long time, about 30 years now, I'd say. I started gaming, obviously, when I was a kid, playing Stratego. First Monopoly and all those games, Chutes and Ladders, but Stratego was my first real game, then Risk. When I went to college in the early 90s, I was in a game group and we played all the Avalon Hill games. We played a lot of strategy games. I remember when Magic first came out, when Settlers first came out, and have been playing ever since with game groups in New York, game groups here in Miami, and have seen the whole spectrum of things over 20, 30 years.
Now, one of the reasons I like gaming with Jason, other than the fact that he's a very good gamer, is that he is similar to me in that we are both omni gamers in which we play almost everything, with the exception that Jason is even more of an omni gamer than I am, because there are a few outliers, like I won't play super heavy war games, you will. I won't play super overly complex, lengthy Euro games, you will.
Yes.
And it's possible that you've played more games than me. Not sure, but it'll be close.
If I only checked off my games on Board Game Geek, we'd have a comparison, but I don't.
Well, I don't do that either. But I know that you've played more games than me. I don't know if you've played more different games. How's that? But I think it's an easy enough thing to say he's played at least 3,000 games. Easy. So, the question are, what are his top 100? I am going to make a list somewhere in the middle of us recording this of what I think is in his top 10, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure I know 5 of your top 10, but we'll see.
I'm curious if you'll get any of them right. I think you'll get a few.
No, I get some right, because I mean there are times where you say that the games are awesome. Anyway, here we go.
So speaking of awesome, as you can see, I'm wearing my awesome shirt today, at least for part of this list, because for me, every one of these 100 games is awesome. If it made my top 100, it is awesome. I have a lot of games I've played, but these ones are all awesome.
And I'll say the same thing that I say on my top 100 list here is, don't sit there and go, what? Jason said that game is only 100? Yes, but again, remember, this is out of thousands and thousands and thousands of games.
Yes.
So therefore, being any game in the top 100 is a game that he thinks incredibly highly of. So don't sit there and go, only 86? That's not a good game. Yes, it is. Just not as good as the other 85.
They're all awesome. But let me start with my number 100. And that is Colorado.
Really?
Yes. I always liked Zularedo. I liked Aquaredo, but I think Colorado does it better. I like the card version of it. I like that everything's simplified in the card version, and I think it's a wonderful, wonderful card game.
Now, see, I'm wondering if Zularedo's, I'm trying not to spoil, like if that's on your list at all, or if you like Colorado better than Zularedo.
I'll spoil right now. So, no. Zularedo is not on my list.
All right, so you actually like Colorado better than both Zularedo and Aquaredo.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay, so you like just basically the base mechanism, the simple card thing of going.
The card, whether you play a card or whether you pull in the pile, I really like the mechanism, and I like the way Colorado simplified it to a nice, short, well-done, balanced game.
All right.
My number 99 is Zolkin.
Okay. This one I'm not surprised on your list, although I would think it would be much higher, but this is like your wheelhouse. You like this kind of...
Yes, I like heavy Euros, and this one I really like the unique mechanic for the heavy Euro as well. I love the gears. I love how every turn you either need to put stuff on the gears or take stuff off the gears. When you put stuff on, they're going to ride around to try to get to bigger sections of the gears to get better actions, and when you finally have to pull them off, you're going to take those actions. Really, really unique mechanism, really good Euro as well.
Now, have you played the expansion for Zulkin?
Yes, I have.
Is that does that make the game better? Where does that sit in the thing?
It adds more to it, and yes, it does make it better. It's not necessary, though. I think the base game itself is great, but I think the expansion is also great and adds to your experience. If you really like the game, it's worth getting the expansion as well.
Okay.
My number 98 is a newer game, and that's Elysium.
Wow. Okay. Okay. This is this just came out. It was nominated for the Kenner Spiel des Jahres.
Yes,
Should it have won?
It was close. My picks were Elysium and Orleans, and unfortunately, Broom Service won.
Well, I'm saying should it have beat Broom Service?
Oh, it should have beat Broom Service, hands down.
Oh, okay.
Broom Service is not in my top 100, but Elysium is. Elysium, it's a great, I guess, it's a building game. I don't know how to describe it because it's not really a Civ building game, but you're collecting cards which you're using
Maybe
their
a
powers.
tableau building game.
Yeah,
like
a tableau.
Race for the Galaxy.
So you're taking cards in to build a tableau, but then there's also a rummy part of it where you're taking those cards and putting them below and building melds to get points. So it's got cards that you collect for powers and melds. It's got a lot of unique mechanisms. The mechanism how you could pick your cards using the different pillars is very nice. Very great mechanism, and it's a game that I think is going to stand the test of time.
All right. Well, we'll have to wait and find out about that one.
My number 97 is Letters from Whitechapel.
Okay.
I really like hidden movement games in general, and I think Letters from Whitechapel is a really solid, pure hidden movement game. It has the unique aspect of you're trying to find where they're going. As opposed to trying to find where they were, you're trying to find where they're going. So you have your detectives, and your detectives are running around trying to find clues of where Jack went. And during those clues, you're looking around going, could Jack be here? Could Jack be there? But you have 4 turns to do it, so you could kind of figure out, well, Jack went to this area of the board, the northeast area, let's say, and then you can figure out that, okay, now I know he's going to go back to northeast. And since there's 4 different turns of Jack having to get back to his hideout, you could kind of cordon off and try to get him before that 4th and final night.
Yeah, this one's interesting because I know that you don't mind this game slowing down.
I mind it slowing down when it's really slow, but I usually try to play it in under 2 hours.
Okay, because we got some people in our group who play this game for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, no, I mind it more than, but I think that our group has picked up the speed. At least the last time I've played it, they picked up the speed, and I think it's a wonderful deduction game.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll be reprint it. Hopefully.
My number 96 is Piece of Cake.
Wow, really?
Yes.
It's really interesting to watch your list because you like heavy Euro, light Euro.
Well, what I like about Piece of Cake, and I know this is an older game, but I really like the I split, you take mechanic.
Oh, I love it myself.
I
Especially
think
when it has to do with pie.
Yes, when it has to do with pie. Well, cake. I don't know if it's pie or cake because it's like there's fruit toppings on it, and I don't usually have fruit toppings on my cake, but it's called Piece of Cake. But I really feel like it's pie because chocolate pie, strawberry pie,
It's pie.
wild pie with a little bit of everything. Looks really yummy. But I really like the mechanic of Piece of Cake. I love the fact that I have to split this into however many pieces, and then everyone else gets to pick before me. So I'm stuck with the last piece. So I have to figure out what they're going to want to take so I can still get what I want out of it. And the biggest unique thing is that no matter what player count you play in, there's going to be an uneven split because the pie is actually 11 slices.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So because it's 11 and it's an odd number, if we play with 2 players, one person's getting 5, one person's getting 6. If you play with 3, it's usually 3, 4, and 4. If you play with 4, it's usually like...
Or you could always... But that's not always the case.
No,
Sometimes you have a bigger section, but the pieces in that section aren't worth as much.
True. It might be. You might split it in some weird way, like, let's say I give you 7 and I only take 4 of them, but those 4 are much better than the 7. It's a really unique game. I really like the split mechanic, the way you split the pieces.
And it's pretty fast, too.
Yes. It's a piece of cake. My number 95 is the Battle of the Five Armies.
All right. Love this game.
I do too. I really love it. Obviously, its sister game or its older brother game or whatever you want to call it is going to be much higher on my list. The War of the Ring. But the Battle of the Five Armies basically takes the War of the Ring and takes the battle mechanic of it and shortens it down to about a 2-hour game. It has all the flavor of the War of the Ring, but in a much shorter time frame. Obviously, you don't have the fellowship part, which is the grander part of the big game, but you have the shorter part. You have the battling, and it really feels like the movie, the way everything comes out in order. Or it feels like the books, it feels like the movie. It really makes you feel like you're doing that battle, the Battle of the Five Armies. And I think it's wonderful. It's a wonderful game. It's got the card-driven mechanic. It's got lots and lots of great-looking minis. This is one that, just like War of the Ring, I would love to see a, I guess, collector's edition one day. I know the anniversary edition of War of the Ring was just released or put up for buying.
I don't know that they'll ever do one of this one. I don't think this one is as popular.
I would hope they would. I would love to see it because I think it's a great game and I think it fits well as the little sister game to War of the Ring.
It is an excellent game. Battle of Five Armies.
My number 94 is Memoir 44.
Ah, okay. I didn't know if this would even make your list because I know that you like the more complex Commands and Colors games.
Yes, I do, but Memoir 44 is one of the more complex ones. If you compare it to Battle Cry, it's more complex than Battle Cry. It's about the same level of complexity as the Commands and Colors games.
I guess. I think they're a little bit more complex. But, I guess when you add in everything that there is for Memoir 44, you like...
Yes, the
Overlord. With all that stuff in it. Do you like Overlord?
Yes, and when we've had games at WBC where we have boards going across a whole table and you have like 4 people on each side playing, and it's a great little game. Am I going to do a center move or a left move or a right move, and am I going to worry about what my opponent's doing? And if I use too many cards on this side, I don't have any cards left for when they come in and attack me back. And the fact that the rolling the dice, you're popping off little bits of armies at once, and I think that the whole category of that game from Battlecry on is a really, really well done mechanic and a really well done game. I think Memoir 44 is a really good game.
If you've ever wanted to play with toy soldiers as a kid, this lets you do so essentially on a board game. That's, even though there's a lot of depth to the game, really easy to learn.
And of course it's one of the best battlefields. We're talking about World War II here, so you can do, the storming of Normandy. You can do all sorts of great battles. It's a wonderful, wonderful game. My number 93...
Memory Match. I don't know.
Is Memory Match.
No, I'm sure that's not true.
No. It's a game where you don't need to use your memory that much. It's Brass.
Wow, I would have picked this for your top 20, actually.
Well, I love Brass. I think it's a great game, but there's games that I like even more than Brass.
92 of them, to be precise.
92 of them, yes. No, Brass is a wonderful, wonderful game. I was taught it years ago before it came out in final production, and it has so many cool mechanics. You're trying to build up your coal, your iron, you're trying to build up all these things, but in order to build them up, you have to use your younger ones and build up in order, so you can't just start with a big ore factory. You have to use your first ore factory, then your second. You could also toss them away if you don't think you could get them out, but there's all these different things you're building, whether it's the ore, the iron, the factories, the shipping, the boats. There's all sorts of things that you need to build in this. And it's really cool because you're using your cards in 2 different ways. One way is for the city and one way is for the path. So you have to decide how you want to use your cards each round. And you go through the deck twice, actually. The first time through the deck, you're building canals, and the second time you're building railroads. And the whole building these canals, building these railroads, building a path, getting your stuff delivered and shipped is very, very cool. And it is a wonderful, wonderful game that Martin Wallace put out.
It's a decent game. I've fallen afoul of it myself in the last several years just because it's so heavy. and it's kind of the theme is very historical, but it's kind of mundane at the same time. It's like, ooh, I built a canal. But it's the difficult thing about this game is the guys who play it like it so much. So many people like it that if you want to get into a game, you'd be destroyed because the people, it has that kind of its own level.
Because it has a bidding mechanic, and people know how much they want to bid, because you have to bid for turn order in it. So you really need to know, do I want to bid this much? Do I want to bid this much? You need to know where you want to bid, because how you bid will determine how you play in that turn and the following turn.
All right.
My number 92 is a card game called Innovation.
Good choice.
I really like Innovation. I like the unique mechanic, how the rules change in it. Now, unlike other games where the rules change, like Flux, which is not that good of a game, Innovation is amazing because you're using the cards, you're using the rules on the cards to basically decide what you want to do. Am I going to splay my cards left, splay my cards right? When you splay your cards out, you end up with more and more power in certain suits, I guess you'll call them, or symbols. And when you use those symbols, your cards will say, if you lead in these symbols, do this. So you have a lot of play, whether it's you're working on level 1 or you're working on level 2. Some people can jump right to level 5, and now you're playing level 5 cards, and you're so much more powerful than your other opponent. But then they might get a card that allows them to copy off of you, and now they're in level 5. And the fact that everyone's building up their levels, everyone's building cards out, building like a tableau, I think it's a wonderful, wonderful game. It is one of the most unique games I've ever played, and I know there's a 4th and a 5th expansion coming out for it soon, and I'm really, really looking forward to getting those because I think both expansions added to the game.
We've had some epic games between him and I, and this. Do you like it best 2-player or 3-player or 4?
I like it best 2, but I think it works well in all the players.
Okay, and would you always play with the expansions, or are you happy with the base game?
I'm very happy with the base game on its own, but I think that the expansions are all well worth adding in if you want to add in more to the game.
All right.
Well, I think I'm sticking with the card game theme for a while because my number 91 is Jaipur.
Jaipur. Okay, yeah, this is the trading card game.
Yes. Well, not so much trading, but it's sort of set collecting. I don't know how to.
2-player back and forth.
Yes, you're back and forth. You're collecting sets, and as you collect the sets, you're going to collect bonus tokens for the sets that you've collected. You also are going to collect camels. When you use those, you could insert the camels in to take the cards you want, and it's a really, really unique set collecting game. You're looking for. Are you looking at yourself to see if you have it?
Yeah, I think I still have it. I'm trying to figure out where it is, but I know I like the game a lot.
I love the game. I love the mechanics. I love if I go for this, but I see that they also are going for this, am I going to get enough of them? Because since it's a 2-player game, you know how many cards are in there. So if you don't collect enough and you don't play your cards out quick enough, they're going to get the big chip for that set rather than you. And I really, 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 really like this game.
All right, well, that is interesting. That's the first 10 in Jason's list here. Jaipur, I mean, you can see he's like interspersing here. Heavy game, light game, heavy game. So I think you can see that he's all over the board, which I don't think is a bad thing.
No, I like an assortment of games. I think as we go, they'll get heavier and heavier, but I
don't like you can get too much heavier than brass. But all right.
It could, and I love everything. I mean, as I always say, everything is awesome, and just board games in general are awesome, and we'll see even more of my list as we go along.
All right, until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
Jason Levine.